Total Pro Sports presents the 15 biggest disasters in Super Bowl history. The Super Bowl is the most hyped-up game out of any that takes place in professional sports every year. Champions, cash, and legacies are made. Fans are entertained as the two best teams in the NFL clash at the most elusive trophy in football. Sadly, many cities, halftime shows, coaches, and players have also experienced some major disasters on the grandest stage. Here are the 15 biggest disasters in Super Bowl history. Number 15, Run It, Pete. This is the dumbest play call in Super Bowl history. At the 1-yard line, the Seattle Seahawks elect to ask their average quarterback, Russell Wilson, to throw in a tight window for an interception, rather than let the unstoppable Marshawn Lynch pound it in for a touchdown. Needless to say, Seahawks fans haven't gotten over a potential repeat, while the New England Patriots got away with another ring, despite a cheating controversy hanging over their heads. Number 14, Transit in Super Bowl 48. New Jersey probably did their best to show why they don't deserve to host another Super Bowl. When the Seattle Seahawks and Denver Broncos played at the Meadowlands, fans relied on the public transportation to take them to the game. Only SkyTrains, buses, and cabs were far and few between. And they had to wait hours to attend and leave the game. Number 13, Super Bowl 41 downfall. This Super Bowl will be remembered as the first time Peyton Manning won the big one, but it may not have happened without awful conditions. Despite playing in the outdoor Miami Dolphins Stadium, the rain had a huge effect on the Chicago Bears and Indianapolis Colts. There was almost no offense and just sloppy play all over. A big game should never come down to awful weather, but this one did. Number 12, Scott Norwood's miss. The Buffalo Bills lost 4 straight Super Bowls during the 1990s, but Scott Norwood came closest to giving the franchise at least one. Of course, everyone will remember the infamous wide right call by Al Michaels as the Bills lost 2019 to the New York Giants. Heartbreak has ensued ever since. Number 11, fans who missed Super Bowl 45. The two most iconic NFL franchises, the Green Bay Packers and Pittsburgh Steelers, met in Super Bowl 45 in Dallas. Sadly, 400 fans did not get their money's worth. The league called 1,250 seats unusable by kickoff, but were able to bring in 850 of them. The poor 400 fans were forced to watch below the stands. Honestly, how much more can you rip off fans who spent thousands to see this game? Number 10, Patriots O-line in Super Bowl 42. Rule number 1, to have the highest scoring offense of all time deliver in the playoffs, you need to protect your MVP quarterback. The Patriots' excellent offensive line was anything but when they had a chance to go 19-0. Tom Brady was sacked 5 times by the New York Giants' offensive line, and the Patriots' offense was held to 14 points in their loss to the Giants. The G-men knocked him off his game and kept him at bay throughout, thanks to unbelievable pass rushing and the collapsing Patriots O-line. Number 9, ABC announcing the Gulf War. You can have your own stances on war, but there is no way it should overshadow the Super Bowl when millions of fans are concentrated on it. During the 1991 Super Bowl halftime show, ABC interrupted the New Kids on the Block's halftime performance by announcing the Gulf War. All I can say is, really? Number 8, Christina Aguilera's national anthem mishap. Before the aforementioned Packers-Steelers Super Bowl 45 matchup, popular American singer Christina Aguilera had the honor of performing the national anthem before the game started. Except Aguilera messed up the lyrics to the anthem. Sure, it's an innocent mistake, but it's not something to do with the troops on the scene, and millions of patriotic Americans across the country following. Number 7, Giants' performance in Super Bowl 35. Super Bowl 35 was supposed to be one for the ages. Only one team decided to show up on both sides of the ball. Kerry Collins and Tiki Barber led the G-men with a dangerous offense against the mighty Baltimore Ravens defense. The result? A 34-7 stinker. The Ravens battered the Giants' offense, giving fans one of the most hyped up yet most disappointing games in Super Bowl history. Number 6, Lights Out. While Super Bowl 47 will be remembered as a classic 34-31 victory by Ravens head coach John Harbaugh over his brother Jim's San Francisco 49ers, the game is best known for the lights out during the game. At the Superdome in New Orleans, a power outage in the third quarter delayed the game for 34 minutes. Fans can't complain though. The Ravens had a 28-6 lead, but the 49ers cut it to 28-23 before the Ravens won. So the power outage did result in a close game, but it's still pathetic that this happened to an industry worth billions. Number 5, the first gate. It's a human tendency to throw gate at the end of any incident to take place. One of the first few involved a wardrobe malfunction by Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson during the halftime show at Super Bowl 38. While they performed, Timberlake ripped a nipple shield off Janet Jackson's breast, which millions saw, even though CBS cut away from it within a second. This was a huge embarrassment to anyone involved, plain and simple. Number 4, Eugene Robinson's mistake. The Atlanta Falcons tried to thwart John Elway and the Denver Broncos' attempt to repeat as Super Bowl champions in 1999. Thanks to stupidity by Eugene Robinson, the Broncos won easily. Robinson was arrested the night before the game for soliciting a prostitute, even though he won the Bart Starr Award for displaying character and leadership. Robinson returned the award, lacked sleep, and had a huge distraction which impacted him, with Rod Smith getting an 80-yard touchdown off of him in a 34-19 Bronco win. Number 3, MIA Super Bowl gesture. Popular UK rapper MIA had the honors of performing the halftime show with Nicki Minaj and Madonna in Super Bowl 46. The lyrics in one of the songs contained a swear word, so instead of saying something else, MIA flipped off the camera. Needless to say, a ridiculous gesture forced the NFL into suing her, and an undisclosed settlement happened in 2014. But really, MIA? Kids watch TV too. Number 2, Broncos offense in Super Bowl 48. This was probably the most hyped-up Super Bowl in NFL history. Peyton Manning led the Denver Broncos to the Super Bowl with the highest-scoring offense of all time, while the Seattle Seahawks featured the league's #1 defense. Sadly for fans, the Broncos and Seahawks haters, this game was the worst Super Bowl to ever be displayed. The Seahawks won 43-8 thanks to a snap that went over Manning's head for a safety, 2 interceptions including a pick six, constant drops by the receivers, and a Broncos defense that could not make one tackle. And number 1, officiating in Super Bowl 40. No one remembers this as Ben Roethlisberger's first ring, or Bill Cowher or Jerome Bettis' going out on top party. When the Steelers beat Seattle in Super Bowl 40, the only headlines that came to light were the constant mistakes by the officials, all in which Pittsburgh became the beneficiary of, and one official himself admitted the mistakes will hurt him for life. Roethlisberger scored on a 1-yard touchdown, despite overwhelming evidence suggesting he didn't get in. Darrell Jackson being called for offensive PI, which nullified a touchdown. Other major controversies? Another offensive PI called on the Seahawks even though Pittsburgh got away with jumping offside, and a controversial penalty on Matt Hasselbeck for an illegal block. Zebras are not supposed to dictate the games on their own, and they did in this one. The poor Zebra fans had to wait 8 more years to finally win a ring. And that's it for the 15 biggest Super Bowl disasters ever. But wait, we are not done with you yet. In the comments below, we want to know, in your opinion, what were the best and worst Super Bowl matchups ever? And for more cool videos, click subscribe.